Welcome to another live with action, guys. Really excited about today. The Timpi token is actually about to launch any minute. Any minute. It's in literally 5 hours from now, and I have the privilege of having some superstars joining the conversation today, so you guys can ask everything that you might have wanted to know, but were too afraid to ask. So just type it in. I'll ask the question, and you don't have to get in trouble for it. Gareth, welcome to the party.
Good
Yo,
afternoon. How you doing,
well,
Action? Good to be
welcome to the
here.
party.
Hello.
Let me throw it up this way. That way you can all be up here and everybody can see you guys. How
You
you
sit
guys
in the
doing?
middle. Good. Very good. Very excited.
This is no easy feat, and you guys been working towards this for a while now, right?
Yes, has been quite a journey for sure. Yeah.
This
Awesome.
is two years in the making. We've been developing relentlessly over the last 24 months and longer than that, actually. And yeah, we're finally here with the token launch. We're very excited to reach this milestone. But it's just a milestone, right? So we keep on going, we keep on building, and hopefully we can talk about what we are building with the decentralized search engine a bit more today.
Awesome. I am really excited. I got to tell you guys. Here, I'm going to add this thing to the stage. So if you guys have not seen the website for Tempe yet, there is a countdown for the launch. For me, it shows 11 p.m. PST. I am probably going to stay up for this one just because you have to. You have to.
Me
It's going to
too.
be too fun, Shout out to everybody that's joining us today. Dabatola, Scott, Franco. We got Ryan in the house, Monkey Dude. We got a bunch of I don't want to say, strangers to the channel, but people that sometimes never get to catch lives. They're really happy that it's at 6 p.m. Pacific time. They actually get to say hello. So this should be fun. Scott, feel free to ask the hard questions. You know how much we love those around here. But let's get right into this. So 5 hours to go. People are freaking out. They don't know what to do. How do you get ready? How do you get ready for a token launch? Don't all jump in at once.
How do we get ready, or how does everyone else get ready?
How does everybody else get ready? Because I mean, I hope you two are ready to go. I'm ready to go, but like people that want to either buy the token or follow it along, what do they do? Where do they go? What do they need to get ready with?
So we're launching on Oraichain, which is a Cosmos chain decentralized exchange. So the best thing to do as soon as we launch is go to Oraichain. Make sure you have Oraichain or USDC. You can trade in multiple different currencies, and you have a Cosmos SDK compatible wallet. Okay, so that'll be O Wallet or Kepler essentially.
Yeah.
So make sure you've got your O Wallet or Kepler wallet sorted out, and go to Oraichain from it's 11 p.m. PST, 5 hours time, and you'll be ready to get involved in what we're doing here at Timpi.
Now, no pressure, but I'll share this here. Share this tab instead. This seems to be kind of a big deal, so much so that they even put up a banner up top, premiere listing, happening on February 19th. So yeah, no pressure there, guys. The markets are pumping. There's no pressure as far as getting a token out, right?
Well, Oridex have been fantastic with the launch. There were bigger exchanges that we could have gone to, but with Oraichain, we've had tremendous support and exposure, and we're very proud to be on their platform, and we'll be very visible there, right? So you're not going to miss us. You go to Oraichain, go onto their deck, you will see Timpi straight away. So we're not going to be drowned out with lots of other tokens there. And what's great actually is if you wanted to stake liquidity on Oraichain are matching the rewards one-to-one with us. So if you stake to liquidity, you'll be getting around about 117%, at least for the first month, and then we're going to keep on topping the pool up But as I said, we're going to be doing that as well as Oraichain, so you'll be rewarded in dual tokens.
So this is
That's
more
pretty
than
amazing.
just like, hey, we think this is a better platform to launch than a centralized DEX. There's like real benefits around this one.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You know, we want to make decisions that benefit our supporters, right? And at the end of the day, so Oraichain been fantastic. You're getting huge rewards for sake of the liquidity, and it's a very easy process. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, Emiliano Zapata, I appreciate you chatting in. We're going to touch on any and all questions that come in. I am doing a little star next to the questions that kind of fit in here. So I do see all of you. I will make sure that I hit these up and I will follow up with every single question. So I'm only getting it off my list once it's been answered. Now, how long have you two been working?
Think Action, like the people we have in here, do you think our current community, or do we have new people in? Is it worth recapping what Timpi is and what we're doing?
What we do?
It's always worthwhile recapping. That was going to be part of it. Like we do have some more advanced questions, I guess you can say, but we do want to make sure that the people that have not heard of what Timpi is, what it does, how it works, also gets to understand this. So, who's on deck? Who wants to go for this one? Or are you up for it, Gareth?
I'll start.
All right.
Start. Yeah.
All right. So, Timpi is the world's first decentralized search engine. But essentially what that means is that we are running in the background a decentralized index, and the index is essentially the collection of all the information on the internet. So that having our own index really gives us a lot of, enables us to be very unique in the market. And one of the ways that we're unique is that we are the only search engine in the world which does not manipulate your search results, as any other search engine in the world does. Now, why do we know this? It's because we have the 5th largest web scale index in the world. There are only 4 others, and they're controlled by Google, Bing, Yandex, and Baidu. And they are centralized, the data centralized in a black box. And we know that, and there's growing awareness in society that are very aware that the results that you're shown through their search engines is manipulated according to their political agendas or commercial partnerships. So Timpi's come into this space.
That doesn't sound very good, Gareth.
It's not very good, Action, but we are here to help, right? We're coming to the rescue for society. It's a big problem, actually, right? Because when you search on the internet, you're being manipulated. You're not making decisions on your own. You're not seeing the information that's out there. You're just seeing the information that they want you to see. And there is no other option. There are no other options because it's really difficult to build a web scale index. And we've been able to do it through decentralization.
All right, Jörg.
Okay.
So he's saying all this stuff that you guys are doing. How are you doing this? Because I see Gareth as like the pretty face of this whole thing, and then Jörg comes along and makes it work.
So that means I'm not pretty. Okay, that's all right.
I'm just saying he doesn't let you out as much. That's all it is.
No, that's true. That's true. I'm always sitting in the basement. I never get sunlight. I'm a poor bugger. I think I want to emphasize on what Gareth said, how unique it is what we do. So there have been a lot of search engines in the past that have tried, or a lot of new companies in the past that have tried to build a search engine. And Timpi is the first one who actually did it. And that's the amazing stuff. It's not something we want to do. It is something we have done. And I think that's really important because we have built over the last 2.5 years, we have built this search engine. We have our index. We are actually having a live 5th largest index in the world that is live right now. You can go onto it, join our Discord and become one of our public group beta testers. So that's no problem. And How we do it is really, we needed to tackle a few challenges when we were talking about decentralized search. That one of the challenges is, for example, latency. I mean, we are really spoiled by Google when it comes to response time, which is great. Don't get me wrong, I don't complain. But they have a very high bar, and we are aiming for this high bar. And what we were able to do, we developed our own network protocol that we call the TAP, Timpi Autonomous Protocol. And this network protocol allows us to have a similar response time like you are used to on the other big centralized search engines, while we are completely decentralized. And that was one of the challenges. Other challenges is, coordinating hundreds of nodes. We have hundreds of collectors, for example, that fill our index. And then we need to store it somewhere, but that storage is, again, decentralized. So this was a really challenging bit to solve on the search engine part, and scalability and stuff like that. But again, we made it, we pulled it off. Huge kudos on the team, actually, because without the team, we wouldn't be able to do that, of course. So, and what we have now is the first decentralized search engine that actually works. An index size of over 1 billion pages already, and we are still in the early status or early stages of our indexing. And the amazing part is when we did the last test, for example, so we ran a performance test. We wanted to see what is it we can do. It's a couple of months ago. We can do 1 billion pages per week, no problem, no sweat. And that means if you look into pages or into search engines like Bing, Bing has an index size of about 7.5 billion to 10 billion records. We could reach this and overtake them within 10 weeks. And that's just unbelievable. But our collector network is really, we have all the supporters that run our software. Our collectors are really fast. And it scares me how many pages we get per second, which is really great. So when we are, switching into our next phase, which is the public unrestricted beta, you will see that our index will really increase rapidly over a very short period of time.
I think the key thing that you've alluded to there, Jörg, is that this is already built, okay?
Yeah.
We're not launching the token and saying, this is what we want to build, right? It's not pie in the sky. We've built it, it's there, it's ready. People can register for our beta program right now, get in there and see the product actually working. And it's more than just unbiased and unmanipulated search results. Like, there's a lot more, right? We've got integrated AI, we've got personalized dashboards, we've got keep lists with the first search engine in the world that's going to be fully integrating cybersecurity ratings for all domains in our index, right? There's a huge plethora of things that people are not used to experiencing when using a search engine that we're bringing to the market.
Didn't we not say
it's ready? We built it. Go and take a look. We're launching the token into the market with a product.
Yeah.
Are we now calling it? I missed what you said there.
Yeah. Are we calling it now dashboard or landing page? What is it we agreed on? Anyways.
It depends what day it is. I think we need to actually go to the community and say, look, what is the branding of this, right?
Yeah.
Because actually the dashboard or landing page is way too boring for what it actually is.
Yeah, now, for whatever we call it. But imagine you have your personal page you can go to, and it is called whatever, timpi.com/your name, action CEO. Or you want to have something like timpi.com/shopping. You can have that. You have your own.
No, that's mine. Not
nobody can get that. Okay, sorry.
I've already registered it, and I can sell it to you, Action, if you want.
Yeah, but that's basically how the entire, we are not just a search, we are a complete ecosystem where we have apps that go onto our landing page. We, additional information, like Gareth said, with the cybersecurity rating. And this rating is not just, yes, this domain has now SSL certificate, because that's useless. It actually does 54 different controls against each domain, and it finds out if this domain follows best practice, if it can in some way harm you, or lure you to give your valuables to them. So that's scans we do continuously, and it's hasn't been done in this way before.
So a question that came in is, when is this open Timpi search engine going to be available where everybody can get to see this?
Yep.
So
So it's in a couple of weeks' time. We are just preparing the public launch. That's what we are doing right now. We have an Apex event in a couple of weeks that allows us to increase our index size to something that is really comparable with our competitors. And then we will launch it to the public. So it's coming very soon.
now some people are asking about this dash page. So this page that I'm on right now, this is actually the dashboard, and you can modify this by going into the settings and modifying some things. I just didn't want to bug it down for this AMA, but the search engine does work. So decentralized search engine, um, you know, it goes through things and it works. I mean, the sites that shows up, like all of this stuff is actually working. Um, quick question, since I brought this up here, Jörg, this Wilson, is this like real time? Is this actually functioning? Like, what is it running off of? Like, is it like people's computers, or is it some AWS server out there?
No, we don't use AWS servers. So it's running. And this one, the Wilson at the moment, all Wilson instances are run by community members. We haven't published and that's the Synaptron node that we call it. And the Synaptron node runs at the moment in a closed beta as well. So that means we have a group of people who run it right now for us to just test it out, do the new versions and stuff like that. So it goes through the same development process as we did with the collector. And the collector is now publicly available and everyone can basically run it. And we go through the same process with Synaptron as well. Synaptron is part of our Apex events that we have planned. And will be released to the public soon as well. But that's basically run on a normal home computer. I can actually, if I move my camera, I run one of my nodes or one of the Synaptron nodes. I run myself on this computer, what I'm sitting on.
Wait, the one we're talking on right now?
Yeah.
So it's not so heavy that you can't do other things with it? Like you're still able to run?
No, it's not that heavy that you can't run other things with it. So basically, Synaptron, I run at the moment 2 nodes on this computer, 2 Synaptron nodes, and it runs 2 times the Wilson. And I can still do, as you can see, I can still do video. I can do everything I want to do. And I can even still game. So, and the beauty on that, it runs on 2 2080 Ti's. I just needed to look. So I have 2 2080 Ti's in my system. And that's what it runs on. So it's not, it's not the brand new 30 series. It's basically 2080 Ti's. They have been 5 years now on the market, or 6, and it runs smooth. And I can do anything else I want. It's easy, yeah. So it runs just in parallel.
So the 2080s, that's 2 versions back, because we're now on the 4000 series, and it's still able to keep up.
Yep.
Wow. So there's an opportunity there for everybody. So one question that came in, or a comment that came in, and I'll throw it to you, Jörg. Maybe let's do Gareth. So it's too expensive, but I want to join, but it's too pricey. First, if you can cover 2 things: cost of joining Timpi and being part of this movement, but also if you wouldn't mind, touching base on what happened with this Apex event, because I do have follow-ups.
So let me go through the price and the Apex events and what we're doing there, and then I will. I think it's worth then Jörg following up with why we use NFTs and why there's such a barrier to entry, right? And I think Jörg can follow up on that. So the Apex events we're holding over the next year. There's going to be 4 Apex events, 1 for each node: Collector, Guardian, Geocore, and Synaptron. And on each of these events, we're going to be stress testing the network, pushing it to its limits. So the first Apex event is starting on March the 15th. And not only will be then running all the nodes that we have out there available, we're going to be there's going to be a lot of marketing going on, partnership announcements, airdrops, price point bonuses, a whole host of things with marketing, as well as actually pushing the network. Now, the collector node is $625, and you purchase the NFT, you download the application, and then you connect your wallet to the application. Now, yes, $625 is quite a lot for a node, comparative to staking, but you're purchasing an NFT. So yes, it's expensive for an NFT if you see it purely as an NFT, but the utility of this is huge. So not only are you going to be able to run the node and have your standard rewards that will go on forever as long as you're running the node, but during these Apex events, we're going to be rewarding the node runners with a significant bonus if they're pushing the limits during that week. So if we look at the collector, for an example, they need to run the collector node with an uptime of 90% for that week. And if they do, then they will get a bonus of 15,625. It's NTMPI, but it's the Timpi token. And what that means at our launch price, which is 4 cents, which is going on in the market in just 5 hours, is that equates to over the $625 back.
Wait, I got you.
So within the 1 week, they're going to get their return back. We don't know what's going to happen with the price, right? Who knows what's going to happen with the price? In terms of the dollar value, could be a lot more, could be less. Who knows? But we've actually made it a very compelling offer to run these nodes, but make sure you get in before the Apex events. And that's why we sold out last week of all the collector nodes within 30 hours. So for Apex 1, it's closed. There are no more nodes available. You can't purchase the NFT. But what you can do is register for Apex 2 event, which will be March, April, probably around May time, maybe April.
And I can maybe talk a little bit about why we sold out. Talk a little bit about why we even need NFTs and not why we didn't go with staking. So our network relies on balance. So that means that we don't want and we can't afford 10,000 collectors and have no storage where to put it. So that is why the balance happens via the NFTs. So we have access NFTs for each of those nodes. And that helps us, or that it helps the network to control the balance between these nodes. Because if we would have too many collectors, for example, the network would automatically slow down all collectors, and you would earn less at the end. So by controlling the number of collectors in relation to number of storage nodes, we can make sure that every collector can get the most return as possible. And also, if we look, and we have really looked a lot around, what is other projects, what is it they doing? How much do you need to stake to run a Flux node? How much do you need to stake to do other projects? And from a price point, we are actually, when we look at our largest node, which is the most expensive node, it's actually very affordable. I know it's a lot of money, but we wanted to make sure that people who buy this node just don't buy the node or the NFT, don't buy the NFT because they want to have the NFT. We want actually to have the users contributing to the network and using the NFT to actually run our software. And that's why we choose to have a little bit higher price. But as Gareth said, you have the opportunity during the Apex events to, to just gain a lot of tokens in a very short period of time while we run this Apex events. And the general return is very high as well. So it's running very good. I think we calculated at some point returns of, I don't know what it was, but it's quite a high number. So, and that helps us to control the network flow and make sure that everyone gets the best possible return out of it.
And so you don't want a network that has almost 1 million nodes or anything. I'm gonna pull that off the screen before I get in trouble.
No, so we won't have 1 million nodes, because as I said, the network protocol we developed, it grows autonomously. The network will decide when it needs more nodes, and it will issue more NFTs in the future. So once our founders sale is done, which is at the moment, we only waiting for the Apex event to go through, and then you won't get a founders NFT anymore, ever. And then we will have the normal network NFTs, which will be issued by the network itself. So if you have a founders NFT, there is a NFT marketplace being released soon as well. You can actually sell your NFT on the market. And if you have a set of, let's say you have all 4 founders NFTs, that will be, I could imagine, will be very valuable in the future, because they are unique, they are limited.
They're really limited.
Yes.
Don't say that out loud. Do you know how much money I've made flipping NFTs here? Come on.
Yeah, okay, that was now an insider. Good, yeah, forget about it. How was it with the Yetis? You haven't heard that.
All right, so something that's very discouraging in the deep end space is that a lot of times these nodes, they go out, they make good returns, and all of a sudden it's like they're not doing much. You know, there's no revenue being generated anymore. And I'll throw this question up that just came in that fits right alongside of this. But Crypto Dirk asked, seeing that Google uses ads and clicks to make revenue, how does Timpi plan on making money? Like, is there a plan to actually make money with all of this, and how do we get there?
So we have multiple revenue streams. One of them is advertising, and actually we're doing some very clever things around advertising as well. I'm not going to go into detail on that. Maybe we'll come back to that, because I want to stick on point with the revenue drivers and how that really is quite unique, I guess, for a blockchain project, that we have real world revenues. Okay. And that comes from advertising and also API access that developers can actually tap into our index directly. So in terms of the sort of real world, sort of Web 2, if you like, revenue models, we have those. And not only are they in place, they're actually supporting the blockchain economics. So as those revenues come in, the real world revenues come in, then part of that will be used to actually buy our own token and support the node runners and the ecosystem as a whole. So yeah, we're going to be using those to bring into the tokenomics. But that's just advertising and an API. We also have then blockchain revenues, obviously through the transactions on blockchain, because we're at layer 1. We should talk about that at some point. And then the NFT sales as well, although that's not reoccurring. And domain sales as well. So we have NFT sales that are used to run the nodes and also domains. And then we have advertising and API. If we look purely at the advertising revenue potential, the advertising spend on search engines last year was around $240 billion. Now, what we're looking to do is to take just 1% of the market, and that's very, very achievable with what we have. With 1%, our revenues then, well, you can calculate it, around $2.5 billion with just 1% of the market. And so, just having that kind of thank you for the calculation there.
Yeah, I got math now for you.
Just having that kind of revenue being able to come in from real world, again, it doesn't matter what happens on the blockchain side of things. These are real world revenues that are going to be coming in and flowing into the economics and tokenomics of the token, economics of the token.
Yep.
But the tokenomics does matter. And then there was a question somebody asked in regards to like, is Timpi an L1? Can you touch on, I guess, why do you need a Timpi token in the first place as well?
We are an L1. So we have our own blockchain that is based on Cosmos SDK. So our blockchain is called Nutaro. And we separated Timpi from Nutaro from the naming and also from our plans, what we want to do with this blockchain, because Timpi is just the beginning. So we want to create an entire ecosystem. And if you have watched us last week and when we were talking about partnerships and so on, we are seeking out and working on partnerships that expands our ecosystem, whether it's decentralized, secure storage or whatever it is. And so that's why we decided to create our own blockchain that gives us the flexibility. And it also helps us to create the governance. And the governance is needed for the ethics of Timpi. So early in the beginning, we always stay, or since the early beginnings, we always stated we don't want to define the ethics of Timpi. So it's not us old farts sitting on in a boardroom and say our search engine will do that. So that's something that's not going to happen. And in order for us to actually find a way how we can include the community, it's basically using our governance of our layer 1. So the ethics of Timpi will then be voted on by the community. And that's another reason why we really pushing hard and making people aware of the staking opportunity. So staking means you have a say. Staking means you have a vote. And that's not just for the blockchain, it is for Timpi and how Timpi's ethics will be developed over time and also changed. I mean, we have to adjust, and we want our community to help us doing it. So for that, you need to have a vote. And in order to get a vote, you need to stake or delegate. So there's documentation, and I think Action might be able to pull up a link to the documentation, what staking means and how to do it and stuff like that. But staking is for us the main way how we can get feedback from the community. What is it they want? Because that's what Timpi is all about.
I appreciate that so much. Yeah, and you're talking about the governance, and this is all on the Nutaro.com website if you guys want to take a look at it, how it works. But something that came up that this is, I think, goes hand in hand with what we're talking about. Crypto Durka has a lot of a lot of things to say here. Doesn't the person with the most money control what everyone sees on the search engine? Isn't that how it works?
Now, because of the voting or the governance process on the blockchain, it is very unlikely that only one will hold all the votes. So it's basically, if you look at our blockchain right now, we have 13 validators. It's very, evenly spread around. So the staking is evenly spread around. You can set up your own validator. So if we look into projects like they have been on the market for longer, like Cosmos, it's still very spread around. They have 150, I think, is it now, or 170 validators, and it's very evenly spread around. So that means that now, even if you have a lot of money, you won't be able to drive or to control Timpi that way.
I think it's worth noting here that there's the setting governance for a search engine to show what information should or shouldn't be shown is incredibly complex. And we are coming out and saying we are not manipulating these results, which we are not, right? But do we allow certain illegal content to be shown? No, we can't, because we'll be shut down, because there's a lot of illegal things out there on the internet no one wants to see. So look, do you class that as manipulation because we're not showing disgusting things to people on for our search engine, right?
Yeah.
Where's the line? And so what we want to do, and we're working with people, and this is where the community is going to be so strong. And in fact, we have brought on a role purely just to build and look at the process of how we govern this thing to be transparent, right? So we're not just claiming it's unmanipulated, we can be transparent with it. And so we're going to be working this is a journey that we're on. Okay, we're going to be building this governance, what it actually means, and what parts of the search engine can be governed and what can't be governed, to get this balance of ultimately where we want to be, which is to give people the most freedom and emancipate data for people, but doing so in a in a responsible way, and ultimately being transparent about it. And that's what the governance process is going to bring us.
Yeah.
And it is much needed, I gotta say, because ultimately I think that's how we drive progress, right? Is it's not but just by having Georg sit in a back room, a dungeon somewhere. It's about having everybody kind of collaborate and pitch in.
Yep.
Talking about pitching in, I know you guys have a AMA scheduled with Flux shortly, but are people going to be able to run their collector nodes on Flux? Is that something that's going to be possible?
Yes. So we already had one of our beta versions, I think 0.81, that was is available on Flux, but it can't join the network right now. We are working on upgrading the Docker container. It's just at the moment, we have all hands on deck just for the launch at the moment. And so that's certainly on our high priority list for probably end of this week, next week. We are looking into that, getting the Docker container updated. And then, yes, you can run it. We already have done it. It's already on the marketplace, so it works. It's fine. The Docker container we have is fine. We just need to make sure that with the updated binary, when we moved from a key to a wallet, that's what we have to change. So that's why it's a little bit larger change, because before that, you had to, trick around a little bit with secure storage and stuff like that. And now it's only your wallet address. So that makes the process a lot easier today. But that's what we have to update on. So, yep, it will come. It will come very soon. And we are working on it as soon we have a little bit breathing room after the launch. Please.
Well, but that doesn't matter if people can't get more nodes. So here's a question from Sofa King over here. Will we have a chance to get other nodes besides the collector? Because I know Sofa, I gave him a heads up and he did pick one of those up.
Yes. So yes, you will be soon. As through the Apex events, we will then release the other nodes until we have the entire network released. So the next one is, if I'm not mistaken, the Geocore. No, the Guardian. Is it Guardian? So the next one is the Guardian. Yeah. So we have the Guardian, which is then our storage. And then we have the Geocore. We will have Synaptron, and it will then be the entire network. So yeah, Geocore is number 3, and Synaptron is number 4, which is our AI node. And at that point, you will be able to buy additional NFTs that are still founders editions. So that's the Apex events still have Founders Edition. After the Apex events, the Founders Edition are gone. And for the collector, for example, there won't be any Founders Edition anymore.
So let me make it clear then about how these sales are going to happen, because it's not so. I know we need to update the website so it's a bit clearer for people. When you go onto the website and the page that Action was just showing, what you're registering for there is to be notified when the release of those nodes are going to go on to sale. Okay, so the Apex 1 is sold out. You can't get any more nodes for that. There's no NFTs available. So the next one is Apex 2. So if you come onto here, put your name and email address and register, then you will receive a notification of when the Guardian nodes will go on sale. And that will probably be a couple of weeks before the actual Apex event. What I can say already is that already the registrations that we have are, I think, over the allocation we have for Apex 2. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't register, because when we're opening up, it's a first come, first served basis. All right. So if you haven't already registered, you still got just as much chance if you register now as someone who registered it for it 2 weeks ago. So register, be on point. We will let people know when they're going on sale. And again, very, very limited numbers for the Guardian. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the numbers that we're releasing for Apex 2? Yeah,
For the Guardian, I think we were talking about, hang on, was it 160?
160.
I think it was 160, yeah. So 160 NFTs, and that's it. So any NFT, I think there was a question, the NFT someone bought, was it Founders? Yes, any NFT you have bought at this so far, we have sold so far all Founders editions.
Now, this is a really, really important one. And Pete, I appreciate you asking this question. Pete loves what he's hearing. How can he get involved and help with what's going on here?
Yep.
Jörg, this is where you tell them to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
Of course. Like and subscribe.
I'm totally going to get a screenshot of that one, but go ahead.
That was a unique one. Oh my God, it's recorded. So basically, what you can do, of course, join us on our Discord server and become a part of the web search beta testers. So web search beta testers is an ongoing thing. You can test, you can try it out, you can have a play around with it. There are some caveats where you get a nice information, what it is we're testing right now, what it is you should expect, and so on. But you are more than welcome to actually help us, give us feedback. We get a lot of feedback. We have a feedback button on the search website itself. We love feedback. We want to have your input on what is it you like, what is it you don't like, what's not working for you, so we can make it perfect. So that's what you can do at any time. And of course, help us with creating the governance by, if you have the opportunity, stake, go onto our blockchain explorer, look into what validator looks good, and stake, and then you have your vote.
Awesome. We have a tremendous community who are running these nodes, getting involved, giving the input, and it's invaluable, right? So anyone who wants to come on board and help with what we're doing, get involved in the way that Jörg just described. But even liking and following, it helps, right? It's helped spread the word of what we're doing here. And get involved in the token launch, right? We can have your support with the token that helps drive the ecosystem. You're going to be able to stake it and have power within the governance process. There's so many ways you can get involved in this. One of the things that we missed out on when we're sort of talking about the token 10 minutes ago was that we're cross-chain, okay? So yes, we've got our own layer one on Notero. One of the key reasons why we built that using the Cosmos SDK is because they have something called IBC, which is basically enables us to then have interoperability with the token across any other IBC compatible chain. Now, within the ecosystem, that means that between Notero and our partners, for example, we've already got the relays and the bridge set up to have seamless transitions between Notero and Oraichain, and also Jackal now, who we partnered with. What it also means is that we will have a Ethereum representation. So the token is NTMPI. On Ethereum, the ticker is $NTMPI, and this is going to be traded on Bitmart, okay, in a couple of weeks' time. So we're launching on Orai within the Cosmos ecosystem on our own chain in 4 hours time. And then what you can do straight away, the bridge is open now, is you can bridge that across to Ethereum representation and then actually trade with Ethereum if you want to, right? So you don't have to be involved in the Cosmos ecosystem. You can actually just trade the token on Ethereum. It will be launched, as I said, on Bitmart first, and then obviously ultimately on Uniswap and traded like any other EVM token.
Yep.
All right. Let me make sure I get these questions asked. Here we go. G Torres, you guys are having an airdrop. What's going on with that?
So we have an allocation for airdrops throughout the next 12 months. And these airdrops are going to be with key partners that we're partnering with. And the two that are ongoing, or I think just closed, one with Oraichain, and then another with Jackal. And so Jackal's a great example. Okay, we're a search engine, yes, and we've got all these amazing features as a search engine, but the ultimate goal and vision of Timpi is that we're actually building an ecosystem of projects that have the same vision that we do to bring data freedom to society. And we're building out this ecosystem with partners in a similar way to how Google built their products, right? So we want to have a messaging service, an email service, and a file storage service. Now, Jackal just happens to have a decentralized file storing service. And so there we have
a really good one.
Yes, exactly. So there we have a partnership. Makes complete sense. We're adding value to the users, adding driving the economy of both the projects. And the airdrop basically enables us to bring awareness to that community, to get them involved in what we're doing, and cross-pollinating both, tokenomics and communities. And then also, with small amounts that everyone receives, then there's high incentives to actually add liquidity into the pool as well, right? So we're bringing a lot of awareness, adding liquidity into the pool, which helps the tokenomics and the secondary market conditions.
So it seems like any partnerships that you're announcing recently end up having an airdrop. I don't know if this airdrop,
dollar for dollar, airdrops right now are the best bang for buck that you can get from marketing. Hands down.
Completely agree. Completely agree. And this is me wanting more alpha for the community. We saw Oraichain active, Jackal active. I don't know if this airdrop page was actually shared publicly or not. There's two other ones that are on the right here. That I don't know that if you've talked about partnerships with them or airdrops for them. I think
it's live. It's live. You can talk about it. How did you get it so it doesn't show there? You're doing some magic here.
Oh, it's don't tell Yer, because he's gonna be like, can you do front end for me? Because I'm not gonna do front end. I just deleted off the HTML off of inspect. That's all.
Can you do front end for me? Yep.
So we've got Sentinel and Bad Kids coming up. We also actually have, I think, 3 other partnerships in the pipeline that aren't on there. We've got a lot of partnerships that are being announced over the next couple of weeks. I think in the pipeline, yesterday John was saying that there's 13 imminent partners that are being announced over the next few weeks. And they're all playing like some part into this ecosystem.
Phenomenal. So if you guys heard this and you have Bad Kids or a Sentinel, airdrops are going to apply to you as well if you saw that page, which is really, really exciting. Here's a random question that you may or may not have the answer to, but Diego was wondering about, cold wallets, because if you're not going to be selling tokens and if you want to hold on to things long term, cold wallets are always nice. Are there any cold wallets that people can use for the Timpi token?
Yeah, you can even stake with cold wallets. So Timpi is, as I said, we are based on Cosmos SDK. So there is at least one code wallet that you can actually use with Cosmos SDK. Yeah.
Awesome.
So that means you can, as far as I know, you can even stake using your code wallet.
Got it. So there is definitely opportunities for you to use. I think Ledger has what they call Cosmos Hub, that allows you to bring on any Cosmos token. So there are options out there.
Yeah, I was talking about Ledger, but yeah, that's the one.
Got it. Yeah, I don't even know where my ledger is. It's probably in one of the
We're not
states.
on DUC radio here, Jörg. You can talk about brand names.
Okay.
Yeah. Any
That's a very
other token? Any other
British sense.
tokens you want to talk about, Jörg? I mean, feel free. I mean, I know you're getting a paycheck from somebody else, right?
I have all the brand names on my back. I need to just turn around. I will do that in the last 10 seconds or so.
You guys are hilarious. Monkey Dude's got a really cool question. So he loves how, you know, decentralized everything really is, but can governments ultimately lock Timpi somehow?
It's an interesting question. So in general, yes, we do need to first of all follow laws. I mean, that's just the way it is. If governments like the typical suspects, they like to censor their internet, they can do it with Timpi as well. There is not much we can do about. I mean, of course, there is, as we are decentralized, our web servers don't have a static. We are not sitting in a data center with our web servers, so they are decentralized as well. So it could well be that if some country wants to censor us, that our web server sits just in the middle of their country and there's not much they can do about it because we don't have control over it. But I wouldn't say that loud. Did I? No. But, you know, there are ways how we can be more flexible. We will not break the law for sure. But I think any
But other people might.
I can't speak for other people. I don't know. You know, don't do that to me.
Ultimately, you know, we don't know where our nodes are run. Okay, so
no.
the network builds and as it grows, it could be anywhere around the world. Okay, we don't dictate that. We don't restrict it in any way. And we couldn't. There's no way of us to do that.
Yeah. So if that would happen, it would be available in these countries as well, because we couldn't do much about it. That's a decentralized network. That's our TAP network who does that. It's not us. So we will never run. Sorry?
No, sorry, go on.
Yeah. We will never run a server in a region where it is not allowed for us to run a server. That's us. But our TAP network is a decentralized network that might have nodes in, it will have nodes all around the world, and we don't control them.
Yeah. And sorry, we were doing so well at not speaking over each other, and I broke it there because I was getting too excited. I think this is more reason for people to get involved in what we're doing. Okay, so the faster we build, the faster we can grow the network, the stronger we are together as a community, right? So the more difficult it is for anything to happen. But as Jörg said, you know, we're not going to be doing anything illegal, so there's no reason for us to be shut down, other than in countries that just don't like freedom of speech, right? But if the faster we grow, the faster the community we have, and the more we can spread the word about what we're doing and really get traction in the market, then it becomes a lot more difficult for anyone to impact what we're delivering here.
Yeah. Now, this is really important, and I was a little thrown off when I read it, but I think it's important for everybody to kind of know this. Jörg is too cute.
Thank you.
I didn't say it. I just want to.
You always wanted to. You always wanted
to. Lovely. All right. So this is actually a call out to me. Is there a step-by-step tutorial for noobs to install and get the collector up and running? I don't think there is any right this second, like a full walkthrough. Hey, there is?
There is on Discord.
Beautiful.
We have which each release, if you go through the release notes, with each release, we basically have a step-by-step, what is it you need to do in order to install it. And then we also have a video, which was done by our great community members on Discord, actually. So how to install it on Linux, for example. But if you have any challenges, no problem at all. We have amazing help on Discord. People will even do remote sessions with you and lead you step by step through the process.
It's pretty wild how helpful the community is with each other. It's
Yes.
like, yeah, we're all kind of like just, I guess mining against each other, but ultimately we all want to make sure that this network kind of moves forward and, really, really does well. And that's not a one person job. I think that's everybody working together to make
Yeah.
that happen. Yeah, and I think you just explained what Lois is asking about in regards to the, having a little bit of help, troubleshoot guide. So if you guys do need help getting this up and running, head over to the Timpi Discord. There's a lot of really helpful people over there.
Yeah.
The the mods on Timpi are incredible. Like I am just so amazed at like the quality of those guys. It's not only like they're not only technical, they're personable. Like you don't get that everywhere. It's very difficult to find that.
Yeah. By the
But
way, the
again, yeah,
network is at
it
the
does
moment in
depend what time
maintenance.
of day it is, right?
Depending on what time of day. Yes, yes,
Right.
absolutely. Because I mean, we got people everywhere, right? I mean, even within Tempe itself, you guys
Yeah.
are decentralized as well.
Yep. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We're all
I
around the
wanted to say
world.
the network. We did it again. The network is currently in maintenance mode. That means now one can collect anything, and that's in preparation for the Apex event, but also we do regular upgrades and stuff like that. So we announced it on our Discord server. There is an announcement that it is in maintenance mode for 72 hours, which is remaining something like 48 hours.
Go ahead, Gareth. He's not going to speak over you now.
Yep.
Oh no, I think I see my point.
All right. Good, 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 good.
Like and
Okay,
follow.
so like and follow. There you go. That's it. That's what I need. I need to clip that. Good thing I got this recording. All right. So we got the token launching now in 4 hours. I think that's where we're at now. Just about 4 hours. What should people know about Tempe that maybe they won't kind of understand at first glance? Because I mean, we're talking about democratizing the web, doing things that the big guys have been doing forever and taking advantage of people. What do you think is really important for people to understand about Tempe if they're just walking into it and they kind of go, okay, why should I care?
Can I go first and then you can?
I literally put Gareth on screen just to mess you up. Go ahead.
I know, that's fine. No, I forgot what. No, of course not. So I think for me, and that's just my my view, my excitement. We are, and I'm not. When we started Timpi, I'm not a cryptocurrency guy. I basically a Web 2 or I'm a traditional guy and went into crypto. And I think what I learned over the last 2.5 years is one of the differences is really Timpi is a product that utilizes blockchain where it makes sense, and it has a token because it makes sense. There is a utility. So we are a search engine that utilizes blockchain, and I think that's quite a revolution in crypto, where usually you have it the other way around. But we started with a search engine, and we were already on beta when we even had the first talks about our token. So the main difference is really we are a search engine that utilizes blockchain where it makes sense, that has its own token because it has a lot of utility for this token. And the product came first, and then the token, which I think it's quite unique. That's my 5 cents.
Everything you said. I mean, what I think is really important, or what I'd like to emphasize is everything we've spoken about today is genuinely groundbreaking, but there's a lot more. And I'd like to encourage people to really look into what we're doing further and see the scale and the full potential of what we're talking about here. I alluded to the industry of $240 billion ad revenue. If we get 1% market share, which is totally achievable, that's $2.5 billion revenue. But it's if we get 0.5%, 0.25%, it's still huge numbers, right? Which we're bringing into the economics of the token and the tokenomics. And so, you know, if you look at what we're doing here, the sheer opportunity for growth is insane beyond, I wouldn't say any other project in the world. I mean, right, you look at Ethereum, for example, right? But more than any other project, because we have that real world utility that we're bringing in, that is a game changer for the potential of what we're building here and the opportunity for people to get involved.
Yeah, and I'll add my 2 cents to this whole thing. It's rare nowadays, which is sad to see a project have a product before a token. It almost seems like people are just utilizing tokens to crowdfund the research, their project in the first place. And when they're coming to market, they're not coming to market with something ready. They're coming to market with uh, an idea, right? And talk about something being a security. I don't think there's a bigger security than that. Like that, you're literally trying to crowdfund for something that doesn't even exist. But instead, you guys are, you did the hard work. Now you're trying to make sure you're doing it right. You're trying to ensure that people that kind of find Timpi now are not going to go, oh, cool, something that I'm gonna, maybe buy, sell, and forget about. No, it's time for things to actually start to get used. For people to start, browsing the web, utilizing the Timpi search engine by, taking advantage of the dashboards that you guys are implementing and so many other things. So honestly, like I really appreciate you guys doing it the right way because that honestly helps the space as a whole and moves all of us forward. It's much, much needed. And I'm just excited to see people doing it right.
Thank you. Well, we are very serious about what we're doing, right? We're not messing around. We know where we want to be and we know how to do it. This isn't just talk. The product's there. We have everything in place to do this right. And that's what we are about, is doing it right in the right way to ensure that this product comes to the world because it's going to have a real impact. And that's what really drives us.
Yeah. And we have made a lot of hard decisions over the last 2.5 years. And, Action, that you followed us a long time already. So, we take it really serious and we know what we want. And that's what we do.
Yeah, tell me about hard decisions. Shout out to the Cadena community that supported, Timpi and getting things up and running. Like honestly, like it's exciting to see that there's good that has come from that community, unlike DocuShield. I am a little salty about that, not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think our community has been incredible with us. They have been very patient, but ultimately, they backed us through the last 2 years through bear market, where we just kept on building and building and building and getting stronger all the time to the position where we're in now to, fully capitalize on these market conditions that we're in. And we couldn't have done it without those supporters that we've had.
Well, then let me ask you, since you're being so kind-hearted, let me ask you a hard question that it will force you to be mean. I keep getting the question of why not pre-search? Hasn't pre-search done this already?
No, and even so, no, the pre-search has not. They don't have their own index. They have a different business model. But on the other hand, I welcome anyone to to join, because it's basically, Gareth talked about the market size. Google and Bing hold 95%. Someone like DuckDuckGo, a lot of people now of DuckDuckGo and use them quite often. They have a market share of 0.79%. So even if there is pre-search and even if there are 5 others who want to do that, that's great. I welcome them because it will basically loosen the market and will take shares away from Google, because we are not here to replace Google, and we are certainly not here to compete with pre-search or with DuckDuckGo. I mean, it doesn't make any sense for us. We say, yeah, that's great. We have a lot of differentiations in terms of how we see the market, how we want to approach the product. That's completely different, and that's great. it's super. It gives us, variations and a lot of opportunities to.
Well, I'll jump in there because I think that cut off. Yeah, so Presearch has a great decentralized ad network, and then they use that on top of aggregating data from Google and Bing, and so they're doing a different thing. There's actually a lot of synergies between Presearch and Timpi. Their results, and they don't claim to be unbiased. There's a different message that Presearch have, right? But they get the results from Google and Bing, so they can't be unbiased and unmanipulated results. But that's our thing, right? Now, it would make complete sense, perhaps in the future, where the Timpi's index and results went into Presearch because they aggregate the other indexes. So they could aggregate ours as well. The vision ultimately of what we're both doing in the industry, utilizing blockchain, is the same, right? We want to be able to, provide transparency and freedom within the utility. And Presearch are doing that with their ad network in a really great way. We have our own index, and that's a differentiator. But ultimately, we're driving in the same direction about making changes in this industry.
Yeah, I mean that's more than expected from you, Gareth. I thought you were going to be a little mean, but I get it. We're all in the same boat, trying to kind of move along in the same way. My biggest pet peeve, and I'll just come out and say it personally, like I don't like the search suggestions. That's my biggest pet peeve of research right now. Like, I like what they're doing. They definitely took a step in the right direction. But man, it's frustrating to sometimes see that research takes all of the search suggestions from the big guys. And that's not decentralization at all. It's just, kind of, I don't want to call it cringy, but it's not a world that I want to personally live in, where even when somebody tries to do something decentralized and tries to have a better platform, it still defaults to the man, I guess you can say.
There's a good question. I just read it.
Yeah, we can always count on TSN to bring it home for us.
Yeah, that's a question for me. I mean, look, as some of you might know, my background is information security, and privacy is one, or privacy. What is it now? Privacy or privacy? Yeah, privacy is now. It's really a very important part of Timpi, because there is a lot what's going on, and we share way too much information with any other website. So we have been trained over the last 10 years of basically giving away all our personal information to websites because just because they ask for. So, and I would love to change that, because we are way too open. And the challenge on that being way too open is that we are getting profiled, and this profiled is already happening on the big guys. We know that, but it's also the bad guys on the cyber crime side. They utilize the same mechanism to profile us. So Timpi will not store any user information. We don't track you, but in addition to that, we also help you to being less tracked on other web pages as well, because how we build the search engine. And in our roadmap, we have a lot of things that help users to stay safe and hidden by, allowing users to preview website content without going there. And then it would only be shown on the Timpi page itself, on our search page. So there are a lot of mechanisms where we want to help the users to stay a little bit more hidden and keep their privacy and personal information more hidden. So yes, it's one of our, it's a very important part for us.
I knew you'd care about that. Yeah, TSN always comes through with all the good stuff, man. He's a good person to know, especially because he's on Flux. But yeah. All right, I think we covered the bulk of it. We got all these questions answered, talked about the nodes that were sold out, talking about airdrops, why they're important, talked about the token being launched in about 4 hours or so. I'm probably just gonna get dinner and like watch the clock. That's gonna be my night.
Will be a long night. Will be a great night.
It's gonna be a great night. Exactly it
Yep.
there. But
we're
if you
really
guys,
excited. We're the team are jumping into a party room in about an hour where we're all going to be together and celebrating the launch throughout the night. But also on point, you know, and sober to respond to any queries that the community have.
Of course.
oh man, those people that live a little ways down under they get a little wild. All right, yeah. So it's Timpi.io if you guys want to check out the website to see exactly what's happening over there. Like I said, and I'll share this tab here. They are live with a little countdown that looks pretty darn good at the stage. Little countdown for the launch. If you guys have any questions, want to reach out, connect again, Timpi.io, or you can find them on X at Timpi_the new way. Super active, not only on socials, but also the community is thriving. Shout out to Kyle. Kyle, I appreciate you, buddy. When people actually, you know, go to the Discord and get to see what's going on in there. Got some awesome mods. Kyle's one of the ones that jumps in and does the spaces with us. So it's always a good time. So I appreciate you guys, all the work that you guys are putting in the background, the mods and everybody that's really, you know, doing God's work down there, especially this guy Pete Ackman telling everybody to give action a follow. Thanks, guys.
Of course you should. I'm not doing it again with, you know, share.
You know, I already got that clip. I'm saving that one. I'm definitely saving that one because I got a thumbnail to go along with it as well. But guys, honestly, thank you so much for jumping in and having this conversation 3.5 hours before your token goes live, which is really exciting. I'll be around as well. I know I got people DMing me right now. I got people on my Discord actually messaging me. So we'll make sure to get everybody pointed in the right direction. Oraichain is where you can get the token on Timpi.io's website. And any final words from you too?
No, thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk. Good questions, really good questions. Love it. And looking forward for many months to come.
Yeah, always a pleasure to speak with you, Action, and to tell the world about what we're doing. So yeah, please get involved and join us on this journey.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys in the next video. I should probably cut some of this stuff up and make some shorts out of it because this was good content. So thanks, everybody. See you in the next one.
All right. Thank you. See ya. Bye.
Thanks.